When I walked out of the hospital, an old man suddenly stared at the locket on my neck. "You're pregnant," he said, "but you're wearing the ashes of a stillborn child. It's a ritual, a life for a life. You're swapping your baby for the child in someone else's womb." The locket was a gift from my best friend after her miscarriage. I didn't want to wear it, but she insisted, watching until I put it on. I thought about how my best friend, just this morning, found out she was pregnant again, and how my own baby, perfectly healthy until now, suddenly had no heartbeat. A chill ran down my spine. When I got home, I took off the ash locket and put it on my pregnant black dog. I stood at the hospital entrance, staring blankly at the small silver charm hanging from the chain. Inside, I could see a dark gray powder. Were those really ashes? My mind was a complete blank. Those are the ashes of a stillborn child. The old man's expression was grave. "You're wearing a locket of ashes while you're pregnant. It's a life for a life exchange. The baby in your belly will be lost, and the person who gave you the locket will have a healthy child." My heart seized. My best friend, Chloe, had given me this locket after her last miscarriage. I don't like jewelry, but Chloe had insisted I wear it. Today, Chloe and I came to the hospital for our checkups together. My perfectly healthy baby suddenly had no heartbeat, while Chloe was pregnant again. She left in a hurry, overjoyed, while I lagged behind, devastated. The moment I stepped out of the hospital, this old man, Mr. Chien, had stopped me. My hands shaking, I moved to throw the locket away, but Mr. Chien stopped me. "The moment you put it on, the ritual began. If you want to get out of it, you have to find someone else who is pregnant to complete the ritual for you. If you just throw it away, both you and your baby will die." I was horrified. He was forcing me to do something as horrible as what Chloe had done to me. "Mr. Chien, is there no other way?" Mr. Chien shook his head. "You have to give the locket away before midnight tonight. Once you've done that, you can contact me again. And remember, don't tip them off." He gave me his phone number and hurried away. It was 5 in the afternoon. That meant I only had 7 hours to save myself. I had my doubts about what Mr. Chien said. Chloe and I grew up together. We were like sisters. After her last miscarriage, I was the one who took care of her, even with my own baby bump. I couldn't believe she would do this to me. But what if it was true? After all, my baby really didn't have a heartbeat anymore. My mind was a tangled mess. I stumbled home in a daze. As soon as I opened the door, I heard the unmistakable, breathless sounds of 2 people from the study, just after they'd finished having sex. Then, I heard Chloe's delicate laugh. You should have seen the look on your wife Lily's face when she came out of the hospital today. It was hilarious. Ryan cooed at her. "Just wait until the ritual with the ash locket is complete. When that thing in her belly is gone, she'll be crying her eyes out. It'll be hideous. You'll love it." I felt like I'd been struck by lightning. What Mr. Chien said was true. I wanted to storm in there and demand to know why they were doing this to me. But Mr. Chien had told me not to tip them off. All I could do was quietly leave the house Ryan and I shared and go back to the apartment I'd bought before we were married. Once inside, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I burst into tears. As I wiped my eyes and turned around, I saw my black dog cowering by her crate, keeping her distance. I've had this dog for 7 years, and she never warmed up to me or my husband. But she would always wag her tail and whine affectionately for Chloe. Looking at the dog's huge, pregnant belly, I had an idea. Mr. Chien never said I had to give the locket to a person. A hard look came into my eyes. They had shown me no mercy, so I wouldn't show them any either. I poured half a bowl of freeze-dried treats for the dog. While she was eating, I carefully wrapped the ash locket around her belly, then guided her back into the crate and covered the locket with a blanket. I don't know if I was imagining it, but after I put the locket on her, the dog looked at me with an almost human expression of disgust, her gaze chillingly cold. My hand trembled as I was locking the crate. Just then, the front door opened, and Ryan walked into the entryway, carrying bags of groceries. "Honey," I asked the doorman. "He said you came into the building but left in a hurry without coming to our place. I figured you were upset and came here to cry by yourself. I bought a chicken. I'll make you some soup tonight to help you get your strength back." Ryan's voice was as gentle as ever, but it sent a cold sweat down my back. How did Ryan find me here? Bang. The dog suddenly burst out of her crate. Before I could stop her, she leaped onto Ryan's leg, whining and fawning all over him. My nerves went taut. Why was the dog suddenly so friendly with Ryan? Ryan was surprised too, but when he saw the ash locket on the dog, his face immediately darkened. Honey, why is the locket Chloe gave you on the dog? Oh, I wanted to film a video of the dog wearing it for social media. Thought it might go viral, you know? In a flash, I grabbed my phone, recorded a 10-second video of the dog, and posted it right in front of him. Ryan's expression was still ugly. He scolded me coldly. What if she breaks it? How could you treat Chloe's gift so carelessly? He took the ash locket off the dog. As he walked over to me, his voice turned gentle again. Here, let me put it back on you. Without the locket, the dog went back to her old self, baring her teeth and growling at Ryan. Ryan shot her a look, and the dog flinched, tucked her tail between her legs, and scurried back into her crate. The sight sent a shiver down my spine. At the same time, Ryan fastened the ash locket back around my neck. It felt like a cold snake coiling around my throat, making it hard to breathe. A sharp pain shot through my stomach. Ouch, I cried out. What's wrong, honey? Ryan asked with concern. My stomach really hurts. I'm going to go lie down for a bit. I hunched over, pretending to be in pain, and walked into the bedroom. My plan was to get into the bedroom and, when Ryan wasn't looking, secretly take off the locket and find a chance to put it back on the dog. But the moment I touched it, honey, what are you doing? My heart leaped into my throat. Ryan was leaning against the doorframe, watching me with a blank expression. His cold, indifferent eyes were exactly like the dog's when she was wearing the locket. I'm changing my clothes, I said, frowning back at him. Why are you following me around today, Ryan? Ryan's gaze was fixed on the locket around my neck. The baby just had a scare. I'm worried about you. You get some rest. I'll go make you dinner. He was watching me, making sure I didn't take off the locket. I fought back my anger and fear, desperately looking for another chance to take it off. But Ryan's eyes were on me constantly. If I spent more than a few minutes in the bathroom, he would knock on the door. Time was slipping away. It was already past 9 o'clock. Less than 3 hours until midnight. The constant tension was making my head spin. I felt dizzy and let Ryan help me lie down. After a while, I opened my eyes and peeked toward the living room. Ryan was sitting on the sofa with his back to me, talking on the phone. Don't worry, I'm watching her. She hasn't had a chance to take off the locket. I put something in her soup for dinner. She'll sleep until tomorrow, and by then, the ritual will be complete. Am I really going to miss her? No way. She's like a dead fish in bed. If it weren't for her money, I wouldn't give her a second look. After she has the surgery, I'll start adding a little something to her food every day. Once she's gone, everything she has will be ours. Tears streamed down my face. After my parents died, Chloe and Ryan were the most important people in my life. I never imagined they could be so vicious, wanting to harm not just my baby, but me too. When I saw Ryan hang up the phone, I quickly lay back down and pretended to be asleep. Hearing his footsteps getting closer, my whole body tensed up. Thankfully, this time, he only glanced in from the bedroom doorway before heading to the study. I waited a while longer before I dared to open my eyes. I checked my phone. It was almost 11 o'clock. I quickly checked the security camera feed for the study. Ryan was already asleep on the small bed in there. I tiptoed out of my room. I fed the leftover drug dinner to the black dog, and she quickly passed out. Luckily, I hadn't eaten much myself, so I could still function. Fighting off a wave of drowsiness, I muzzled the dog with a towel, carried her out of the apartment, and took a taxi to a park far from my home. I found a deserted corner and fastened the ash locket back onto the dog. It was now just 5 minutes to midnight. I didn't have time to feel relieved. I pulled a new phone out of my bag, swapped the SIM card, and threw my old phone as far as I could. I had never been suspicious of Ryan or Chloe before, so I had no idea if they'd tampered with my phone. This new phone was ironic. It was supposed to be Ryan's birthday present. With a few minutes to spare before midnight, I used the time to contact my lawyer. I wasn't going to let them get away with this. As soon as the clock struck 12, I dialed Mr. Qian's number. The moment the call connected, The unconscious dog started to struggle and howl in agony. Black blood began to pour out of her. Her belly visibly deflated. If I hadn't gotten rid of that locket, that would have been my baby's fate. My voice trembled. Mr. Chien, I got rid of the locket. What do I do now? Mr. Chien told me to come to his house immediately. That locket is a dark object. Your baby has already been affected. We need to restore its life force, or you'll still lose it. Okay, I'm on my way. I placed a hand on my round belly and suddenly felt a faint flutter. My baby was responding to me. The feeling gave me a surge of strength. I forced myself to run out of the park. Just as I was about to hail a cab, a car came speeding right at me. The driver was, of all people, Chloe. She was leaning out of the car window, her face as white as a ghost, screaming at me. Lily, who did you give the locket to? I barely dodged her car. Just then, a taxi pulled up, and I scrambled inside. Crash. Chloe's car hit the median. She jumped out, a large bloodstain spreading across her dress. She ran toward me, her voice vicious. Lily, you're not getting away. My heart pounded in my chest. Driver, go. She's crazy. I yelled. The driver slammed on the gas, and the taxi sped off. When I got to Mr. Chien's house, my legs gave out, and I slid down the door to the floor. Before I could catch my breath, my phone rang again. Chloe had sent me a gruesome photo. She had cut the black dog open. Hiss. The pain in my stomach intensified. I felt a dampness below and couldn't tell if I'd wet myself from fear, or if I was bleeding. At the same time, a call from Ryan came in. I immediately declined it. He was relentless, calling over and over again, more than a dozen times. I looked anxiously at Mr. Chien. He was arranging candles in the shape of a circle. Don't worry, it's almost ready. I tried to even out my breathing. Since I wasn't answering his calls, Ryan started sending texts. Honey, where are you? Let your husband come pick you up, okay? You bitch. You think throwing away your phone is enough to hide from me? My heart skipped a beat. Then Ryan sent a picture. It was the main gate of the apartment complex where Mr. Chien lived. Ryan's messages kept popping up. See? I found you. I'm in the complex now. This place is a real dump. I'm in the building. Damn, no elevator. I'm here. The air caught in my throat. The next moment, there was a knock on the door. Honey, be a good girl and open the door. I leaned against the door, my body ice cold, my fingers trembling uncontrollably. Mr. Chien, are you done? Ryan's here, he's right outside. Mr. Chien, still arranging the candles, didn't say a word. Knock, knock, knock. Honey, open the door. You bitch, open this door right now, or I'll kill you. Ryan's tone grew more and more sinister. I bit my lip, fighting back the fear, and ran to the dining table, grabbing a fruit knife and staring at the door. Ryan yelled a few more times. When I didn't open it, he started kicking the door with all his might. The door to Mr. Chien's apartment began to loosen. It's ready. Get over here, quickly. Mr. Chien pushed me into the circle of candles and snatched the fruit knife from my hand. He looked at me intently. You need to stay in this circle for 20 minutes. Give me $20,000 and I'll hold off the man outside. Mr. Chien didn't give me a chance to refuse. He grabbed my phone, added a contact, initiated the transfer, and urged me to enter my password. My hands shaking, I typed it in. This is my grandson's account. $20,000 is enough to get him through college. Mr. Chien smiled with relief. Then, holding the fruit knife, he resolutely pulled the door open. The moment the door opened, Ryan, his face contorted with rage, tried to charge in but was blocked by Mr. Chien. The door slammed shut again. Ryan roared viciously, "Get out of my way." Mr. Chien's reply was firm. "I won't let you in. You old fool, you've got a death wish." The next thing I heard was the sickening thud of fists hitting flesh. I watched the clock anxiously. Every second felt like an eternity. I was supposed to be in a protective circle, but I felt a deep chill all over my body, and my stomach cramped rhythmically. I gently stroked my belly. "Baby, you have to hold on." It was almost 20 minutes. I started planning how I was going to get rid of Ryan, but then I heard Mr. Chien let out a blood-curdling scream. He sounded pained and shocked. You actually dared to kill me." Ryan's voice was demonic. "You got in my way. Go to hell." My breath hitched. Did Ryan kill Mr. Chien? What the hell is going on? Screaming like a banshee in the middle of the night. I'm calling the cops. A man from another apartment yelled out. After that, the screaming outside turned into a muffled whimpering. Ryan must have covered Mr. Chien's mouth. A few seconds later, it was silent. Finally, 20 minutes were up. I stepped out of the circle, ran to the kitchen, grabbed a cleaver, and bracing myself for a fight to the death with Ryan, threw open the door. The hallway was empty. There were large splatters of blood on the floor and walls, and a drag mark of blood led down the stairs. My legs buckled, and I almost collapsed. My stomach cramped again, and when I looked down, I saw blood seeping through my pants. I forced myself to call the police, and then an ambulance. I was so weak I had to lean against the doorframe, without the strength to even move. Suddenly, I heard footsteps in the hallway. Was Ryan back? I clutched the cleaver and tried to crawl back inside, but before I could move, a cold hand grabbed my arm. I screamed in terror. Don't be afraid. I'm here to help you. The person was wearing a hat and a mask, their face completely covered. From their build, it was a woman. It wasn't Ryan. The breath I was holding rushed out. My vision went black, and I passed out. When I opened my eyes again, I was lying on a soft, comfortable bed. My bloodstained clothes had been replaced with clean pajamas, and my hands, feet, and face had been washed. Except for a dull ache in my stomach, everything else felt normal. I sighed in relief, grabbed the phone from the pillow beside me, and carefully got out of bed. Besides dozens of missed calls from Chloe and Ryan, my lawyer had also called me. I immediately called him back to schedule a meeting. Ryan had tried to kill me and my baby. I wasn't just going to divorce him, I was going to make sure he left with nothing and went to jail. After hanging up, I collected myself, pulled open the bedroom curtains and looked outside. My blood ran cold. This was the same apartment complex I used to live in before I was married. And this window looked directly into the living room of my old apartment. There was even a pair of binoculars on the windowsill. Someone had been watching me this whole time. I had to get out of here. But as I passed the bathroom, I smelled blood. My heart sank. I pushed past my fear and moved closer. In the bathroom, the black dog that Chloe had cut open lay in a pool of blood, its eyes wide open, staring at me with hatred and resentment. Ah! I screamed and ran for the door, only to collide with Chloe, who was coming out of the spare bedroom. Her hair was a mess, her hands and dress were covered in blood, and in her hands, she was holding a dripping mass of flesh. My baby is gone. It's all your fault. You bitch, give me back my baby. Her face twisted in rage, she lunged at me. Ah! I screamed, flailing my arms, and stumbled toward the front door. Just as I reached for the handle, the door was opened from the outside. Was it Ryan? I was trapped. My strength gave out, and I collapsed to the floor. But when the door opened, what I saw was a pair of slender, female legs. Lily, why are you sitting on the floor? I looked up, stunned. The person was wearing a hat and a mask. I recognized her as the woman I saw before I fainted. Chloe's in there, I stammered, trembling as I looked back. But the blood-soaked Chloe and the disemboweled dog were gone. The woman's voice turned serious. Are you hallucinating? It took me a second to process. Hallucinating? The woman nodded and sighed. Ryan put something in your food. It causes hallucinations and makes you pass out. I thought about the drugged chicken soup from last night. The woman helped me back inside. I belatedly asked, who are you? My name is Dana. I'm the girlfriend Ryan almost burned to death. What? Dana told me that, just like me, she was another woman Ryan had hurt. She was his first love, she'd supported him all through college. He swore up and down that he would marry me. But the summer he graduated, he deliberately set our apartment on fire. Dana took off her hat and mask, revealing a face covered in burned scars. A cold sweat broke out on my back. Dana continued in a low voice, I was lucky to be rescued. I spent 3 whole years recovering back in my hometown. By the time I came back, Ryan had already married you. Dana had always wanted to get revenge on Ryan, so she had been monitoring him. She not only rented this apartment, but also one in the building across from my marital home. My voice was hoarse. Ryan and I were classmates in college. We started dating right after graduation. And Chloe was the one who had set us up. That meant right after Ryan started dating me, he had planned to burn Dana to death. I was curious. How did you find me? I've been keeping an eye on your social media accounts. When I saw that locket, I knew Ryan was making his move against you. Dana showed me a video. It was the one I'd recorded yesterday to placate Ryan, of the black dog wearing the ash locket and whining at his leg. After seeing that video, Dana had been watching my apartment with binoculars. When I ran out of the house carrying the dog, she followed me. I quickly asked, "Did you see where Ryan took the old man who was helping me?" Dana shook her head. "I only saw Ryan drag a blood-covered old man into his car. I was afraid he'd see me, so I didn't follow." I thought about what Dana was saying. After being betrayed and manipulated by the two people closest to me, I was paranoid, unable to fully trust her. Dana could tell. "I have proof." She played an audio file. "Are you really going to get rid of Lily?" It was Chloe's voice. Her tone was casual, teasing. "She gave you her first time, you know." My face flushed. Ryan scoffed. "Who cares about that? The way she acts, so prim and proper all the time, it's a total turn-off." Chloe giggled. "So, does your little potion really work that well?" Ryan was confident. "Of course. It'll make her hallucinate. Lily is terrified of ghosts. Once she's pregnant, we'll use the baby to mess with her head. We'll burn some chicken bones, pretend they're human ashes, and guide her into thinking it's something supernatural. We won't have to do much. She'll scare herself into a miscarriage. Best case scenario, she bleeds out. Her and the baby both dead." Ryan sounded smug and vicious. "What's a pregnant woman going to do? She's helpless." Even though I had prepared myself, hearing Ryan's words still made me cry. For all these years, I had given him my whole heart. When he wanted to start a business, I gave him the money. When he was busy with work, I quit my job to be a stay-at-home wife, taking care of his every need. I hadn't even planned on having kids, but he was the one who said he wanted the happy life of a family of 3. Only after I finished crying did Dana speak. "So you see, it was all them, trying to scare you." If that was true, then Mr. Chien was in on it with Ryan too? A sudden shock went through me. I looked at Dana, stunned. Dana nodded. "It's very likely Mr. Chien was working with Ryan." She looked at my belly with a complicated expression. "If I hadn't gotten you out of there and given you medicine yesterday, you most likely would have miscarried." I tried to calm my racing heart. "I called for an ambulance." Dana gave me a long look. "Did you really?" I checked my call history. I remembered making the call, so why wasn't there a record of it? "You were already hallucinating at that point," Dana said. I licked my dry lips and was silent for a moment before saying, "I want to leave. I needed to get a blood test." "Okay." Dana didn't stop me, but she did add me as a contact. She said, "If you want to make Ryan pay, call me." After meeting with my lawyer, I went straight to a lab and ordered an expedited blood test. I never expected that while I was waiting for the results, Ryan would suddenly appear. I flinched and instinctively tried to run, but he grabbed my arm in a death grip. He gave me a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Lily, you're a lucky one. I tried to burn you to death twice, and you escaped both times." I asked in disbelief, "Those 2 times you did it on purpose?" After I got pregnant, there were 2 times Ryan had been making me breakfast in the morning, but had to leave for an emergency and forgot to turn off the stove. Once, I woke up to the smell of smoke and turned it off just in time. The other time, our upstairs neighbor saw black smoke coming from our kitchen and started banging on our door. Ryan sneered, "Don't expect that kind of luck today. Come with me." He started to drag me away. I struggled with all my might, screaming for help. When a bystander started to approach, Ryan immediately pulled me into a tight embrace. He pulled a medical certificate out of his pocket, his face a mask of sorrow. "My wife suffers from severe paranoia. She was being treated at the hospital, but she managed to slip away when the nurse wasn't looking." "No, I'm not. He's trying to hurt me, hurt my baby." I tried to explain frantically, but the onlookers believed Ryan's story. They all told him to keep a better eye on his mentally ill wife and not let her bother everyone. Ryan apologized profusely. I hardened my heart and bit down hard on Ryan's neck. Ryan screamed in pain. I took the opportunity to push him away and ran straight toward a woman carrying a designer handbag. If I made a big enough scene, I might be able to get away. But suddenly, Chloe blocked my path. Chloe sneered, "Lily, stop making a scene. Be a good girl and come back with us." Chloe walked toward me, step by step. Ryan, clutching his neck, closed in on me from behind. I clutched my belly, cornered by them. Just then, Dana burst out of the crowd. "My sister isn't sick. He's a kidnapper." Dana slammed her head into Ryan's stomach. When Chloe moved to help Ryan, I blocked her and slapped her hard across the face. Chloe froze, her eyes wide with shock. It was as if she never imagined I would dare to hit her. Dana pushed Ryan away and grabbed my hand. We ran. I thanked her sincerely. "You saved me again." "Thank you." Dana shook her head. Just then, the blood test results were sent to my phone. I read them with a heavy heart. "Dana, do you still want to get revenge on Ryan? If you do, I have a plan." Half an hour later, Dana and I were standing in front of a psychologist's office. Dana was hesitant. "Are you sure he's here?" I nodded. I had my lawyer look into it specifically. I pushed open the door to the office and immediately saw the person sitting behind the desk. Slightly overweight, bald, with a beard, it was Mr. Chien. My lawyer was right. Mr. Chien wasn't some mystic, he was a psychologist who ran his own clinic. His heroic act of blocking Ryan for me, only to be tragically attacked, was all a show he and Ryan put on to scare me into a miscarriage. However, that day outside his door, the sudden shouting from the neighbor had startled him, and he had actually fallen and injured himself. Ryan had taken him to the hospital. Dana had used that window of opportunity to rescue me, foiling Ryan's plan. Seeing me, Mr. Chien jumped to his feet in a panic. "Lily, how did you find this place?" Ryan was a nobody. The money and connections he has now, didn't I give him all of it? I looked at Mr. Chien coldly. "If you tell me everything about your collusion with Ryan, I won't press charges. Otherwise, you can wait for jail time." Mr. Chien sighed, looking resigned. "All right, come in. I'll tell you everything." Dana and I exchanged a look and walked into the office together. Just then, my lawyer sent me a message. I opened it, and my face went pale. I grabbed Dana's arm. "We have to go. Now." But I was a second too late. Just as I turned, a hand clamped around my neck, and then a foul-smelling cloth was pressed over my nose and mouth. My vision went black, and I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I found myself and Dana tied to a pillar. Ryan stepped out of the shadows, with Mr. Chien and Chloe following behind him. I laughed coldly. "Mr. Chien, I never would have guessed. You're actually Ryan's father." Just as I was walking into the psychologist's office, my lawyer had sent me the message. He had discovered that Mr. Chien and Ryan were father and son. Mr. Chien had helped Ryan with his schemes several times. Mr. Chien's face was now openly hostile. "You little brat. Couldn't you have just waited quietly to die? Why did you have to make such a fuss?" Ryan, on the other hand, walked up to Dana, his face full of disgust. "You look like a monster after being burned like that, and you still dare to show your face near me? Did you really think I wouldn't kill you?" Dana asked hatefully, "If you fell for someone else, you could have just broken up with me. Why did you have to set a fire to kill me?" Ryan laughed. "What if you came back and bothered me later? I had to get rid of you completely to be at ease." Then he looked at me. "As for you, you were supposed to die of weakness after losing the baby. Then I could have gotten all your property without anyone knowing. Why won't any of you just follow the script I wrote for you?" Ryan's expression suddenly turned savage. Slap. He slapped me hard across the face. My mouth filled with the taste of blood. But I still have a chance to turn things around. Ryan laughed manically. "Chloe, kill them." Mr. Chien snapped his fingers. Chloe's expression went blank. She started walking toward me with a fruit knife. I remembered my lawyer's investigation results. Mr. Chien was an expert in hypnotism. I said urgently, "Chloe, wake up. Don't let them control you. If you kill me and Dana, you're the one who will go to jail and suffer, while Ryan gets to enjoy his life. This way, Ryan could get rid of all three of us women who had seen him at his lowest. Afterward, he could start fresh as a successful man and meet new women." Mr. Chien sneered triumphantly. "She's under my hypnosis." "It's impossible." Stab. Chloe suddenly spun around and plunged the knife into Mr. Qian's thigh. Mr. Qian's eyes widened in disbelief. Chloe, her face grim, then lunged at Ryan, stabbing the knife into his thigh as well. Why did you make me get rid of my baby? Why? Chloe had been pregnant twice recently, and both times she'd lost the baby. The reason was that, under Mr. Qian's hypnosis, she had been taking pills to induce a miscarriage. I glanced down at the pinhole camera disguised as a button on my shirt and whispered to Dana, "They're almost here." The next moment, my lawyer burst in with the police. They handcuffed Ryan, Mr. Qian, and Chloe on the spot. This was my plan. I had no concrete proof that Ryan had tried to murder me, so I had to walk into the lion's den. And Dana had willingly accompanied me. Ryan broke down in tears, begging me for forgiveness. "Lily, I love you. I never meant to hurt you. I was just trying to play a joke on you." My face was cold. Save it for the judge. As Chloe was being led away, she passed by me and mumbled, "I'm sorry, Lily." My expression was complicated. I didn't say anything. It was true that Chloe had been controlled by Mr. Qian's hypnotism, but to say she had no intention of harming me at all, I didn't believe it. In the end, Chloe, Ryan, and Mr. Qian all got the punishment they deserved. Tragically, I couldn't save my baby. It took me a full year to recover from the pain. With my financial support, Dana underwent facial reconstruction surgery. We both have new lives now. The end.